All right, guys, I've got Alan from Moasure, and I'm going to tell you right now, stop before you do another job estimate and check this out. This is going to change the way you do your job estimates. Alan, how are you today?
Very well, thank you.
What are we looking at?
So this is the new Moasure 2 device that we've just launched. It measures in 2D and 3D, and we're going to demonstrate how to do that.
I've got a section laid out right here, you guys. And this, we're going to first, Alan, we're going to measure it for a patio. As if I'm coming in, I'm going to install a patio. So I need this to be perfectly level. I want my cut and fill to be perfectly level. Then I want to measure it for a pond. So I want to do a 7-foot excavation on this hole, and I want to determine how much soil I'm going to have to actually export out. And we can do that all with this device and a couple minutes of time without pulling out a laser, without pulling anything else out. And it's going to actually generate not just a 2D, but a 3D image so that I can not just bring that back to my office and do my measurements, but I can show the customer in real time, right there on the job site, this is what we're doing. And if you want to change your bid, you want to change your estimate, we got to tweak it here. And we can do that all like right there at your fingertips.
Absolutely.
Okay, so first off, let's measure for a paver patio. So I want this to be, this area perfectly flat and level. I need to determine how much cut and how much fill I've got to do to make that happen.
Okay. Well,
so how do we do that?
You're going to do it.
Okay.
So I'm just putting it in the stick. All the stick does is make it so you don't have to keep bending down.
Okay. So the first thing I have to do is we've got a blue light right here. I rotate the piece of equipment. When that blue light is blinking, that tells me that my piece of equipment is good. I hit the green go button on the shape. I choose close shape. This is telling the machine what my intentions are to do. I'm going to draw this entire patio. So now I just wait for it. She's good to go. This margin of error grows with time and not distance. So every 6 seconds, you want to set this down gently so that you can get your most accurate reading. And it'll tell you what your margin of error is. So if you don't feel comfortable with your measurements, it'll let you know exactly how far off you are, which is pretty cool because it gives you the ability to reshoot until you know that you're in a good spot.
Now you're going to change the measurement side.
So now I've got my shape, and now I'm going to go to points, and I want to set my benchmark elevation to right down here. And I'm just going to do a couple other elevations while I'm doing it because why not? And we'll do one over here up on the high end of this right here just because. Now I got all of my elevations.
Perfect. Press the red button now to finish the measurement.
So now I'm done with it, and you can actually see exactly I've got my shape all lined up. Now I go to 2D, and this tells me what my actual contours are here. So this is what the existing contours are. Now I need to know what cut and fill are, Alan. Yep. So then what do I do from there?
Okay, so, well, I'm just going to show you the contour map as well.
Okay.
So you can see that if I turn that round, at the top we've got the 0 reference elevation. Yep. And we're going down to almost 4 feet lower at the bottom. Okay. But we picked that point, the first point you said inside.
Yep, right in the center.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's telling us it's 2.2 feet below this point.
Okay.
So if we want to make it level to that point, we need to go to cut and fill, which is the edit menu, cut and fill, and now we need to adjust the level to minus 2 feet 2 inches, which is 26 inches. So if you go back down to minus 26 inches.
So I can actually just type it right in, or I can use the slider to get me to where I want to go. Either one, whatever you want. Yeah. Okay, so now this actually shows me exactly how much cut, how much fill I've got to do. So in this scenario, I've got to cut 5.4 cubic yards from the upper echelon, the upper deck area, but down below that benchmark point, I have to fill 6.8 cubic yards to create a flat level plane that I can put a patio on.
Precisely. Yep.
So it's that fast. It took me, what, 3 minutes?
Yep.
And now I know all of my excavation measurements. Now this can work. This is a small site, but you could do my entire swamp. If I wanted to know how much cut and fill I needed to balance out this entire area,
Yep.
I could do that. So it's not limited by space.
No, not at all. I mean, I've seen measurements of 6 or 7 acres.
6 or 7 acres. Okay, but now I want to change this. I don't want to remeasure this thing. I want to put a pond in here. And I want to go from that elevation, I want that to be water, and I want to go 5 foot deep.
Right. From that reference
elevation. Okay.
So now all we need to do is 5 foot is 60 inches. So we're going to add 60 inches onto the 26 you already got. So that's what, 86 inches. So you
86 inches.
Edit it to 86 inches.
Okay. So now this will tell me how much soil I've got to remove. And as we look at this, we can see that now we're cutting 74.6 cubic yards. We're not filling anything, everything gets cut.
Yeah.
Okay, so now is there a way to see this in a two-dimensional graph then?
When you say 2 dimensions, you mean looking sideways on?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So if we go back to where we were, we actually look at a 3D view, which is the 3D view, and then we want to look sideways on, and you can see it's not so easy in this sunlight, but there we can see the horizontal line there, and we can see that we've captured below that horizontal. That horizontal line indicates from that top point.
This will measure both cut and fill simultaneously. It allows you to instantly change it. So if, in this case, the homeowner couldn't afford us to excavate 74 cubic yards out for a pond, and it was like, hey, if we make it shallower, what is that going to be? I can just simply modify my cut point, and it'll tell me exactly how many cubic yards of soil I'm coming out.
Exactly.
But this will also measure surface dimensions that are irregular. So if we have a slope or a hill, and we have these weird wild contours, and we've got to put sod on that, because we're not always putting sod on flat level yards.
Yep.
Sometimes we're putting them on hills with valleys and dips, and it takes a special kind of measurement to do that. Can you do that with this?
Well, we do exactly what we've just done here, which is we measure the perimeter, and then we take these other elevation points and we capture the humps, we capture the dips in the surface, and then all we do is we go to the 3D surface map, and this now tells us that here 415 square feet.
Oh, it says it right there instantly.
Instantly, so you know how many square yards or square feet.
415.6 square feet, 27.1 square yards, just like that. So you can go out and measure sod. You can ding a yard, just walk around, come back in, and know that you're going to be plus or minus. Here's your margin of error. It actually tells you,
in this case,
0.8%, because the dirt monkey did it. That's right. So I know within less than 1% margin of error what my actual volume for cut and fill is, what my volume for an excavation is, or what my square yards are if I want to sod this area, without redoing anything.
Yeah.
That's why I said stop before you do another estimate, because the way I did it, Alan, is we would pull out a laser, and then we'd pull out our notepad, and then we would do all of these measurements, and then if a homeowner said, oh, but what if? Because they always have the what if. What if we didn't go so deep because they're trying to shrink up the budget, right? That sticker shock. Or what if we changed this and did this over here? Well, instead of redoing all the math, I just click the slider button and I'm in business. I've got my numbers within less than a 1% margin of error. And if I screw up, it's going to tell me on your screen what my margin of error is. So if I don't like it, if I've got a 5% margin of error or 10% because I was swinging the stick or I was chit-chatting or I was going too fast or I was banging it or I did whatever I did, I can then just simply go back and make sure that I get that dialed straight into where it's got to be.
Yeah, it gives you confirmation immediately you finish the measurement that you have a good measurement, you save it on the phone, and you can come back to it at any time. You know you've got a good measurement before you leave the site, not when you're back in your office and you go, I forgot to do this dimension or that dimension.
Now, this is where I've got a question for you. Is this one of those monthly subscription things? So if I buy this, am I going to get charged every single month, whether I'm using it or not? Maybe I'm not doing. I don't do estimates in the wintertime, out on customer sites.
Yeah.
Am I going to get charged in the off season for this thing? How does this work?
So it works by buying the hardware. It's a one-time purchase. There's no subscription. Updates to the app are free of charge. That is literally the cost.
So
Buy
this
it
is
like a measuring tool.
This is a tool.
Yeah.
That's all this is. This isn't some subscription service that you're locked into.
Nope.
That you're going to get hit with fees. Nope. You buy it once and you're done. You guys keep updating it. You guys keep sending out improvements on this thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so how long have you guys been out? Because I mean, how long have you been out? How many users do you have, roughly?
We started shipping in 2019, and we have just over 100,000 units out in the field now.
100,000 units. So this is tried, true, and tested. It's been since 2019, so it's got 5 years of service under its belt, and it's a one-time, boom, you're done deal.
Yeah, there is no monthly subscription. There is no charge for updates to the app. We do regular updates to the app throughout the year. So people buying it today, they'll still have the same product in 2-3 years, the up-to-date product in 2 or 3 years.
Where do they find it?
So you purchase it off our website, which is moasure.com, moasure.com.
Okay. Well, that's it for this one. That's not all this tool does. That was the surface.
It was.
Honestly, you guys, this is the surface of what this tool can accomplish. I firmly feel that if you guys buy this, or if you have bought it and you have used it, I want to hear from you, because we use the oil level sticks.
Yep.
We use the lasers and the transits. We pull them out. If you're jiggle joggling around, you got that in the back of your car, you got to worry about calibration on those things.
Yeah.
This kind of eliminates all of that. Plus, it gives you instant, it does all of your calculations for you. It's freaking beautiful.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else doing anything like this?
No, not to our knowledge, there isn't. We are unique in the world.
Alan,
Thank you.
appreciate
really
it.
great to meet you.
I hope this helps you guys dial in your numbers, because all of our jobs, all of our profit, loss, everything that happens in our initial meetings and how we set those numbers. This takes away that guesswork. This gives you more confidence, so that when you go out to a property and you're going to do an estimate, I don't care if it's a retaining wall, a patio paver, a pond, I don't care if you're digging a basement, I don't care if you're laying down sod. This gives you the freedom and flexibility and the confidence to know that your numbers are where they have to be, within a margin of error that you can actually look at and verify, and it allows you to change your field dimensions right there with a customer, so that if a customer's sitting on a fence about something, you can show them how accurate you are. I've gotten jobs because I'm just more accurate and I'm a better salesperson to my customer than the next guy that didn't explain anything to the customer. They're like, well, I went with you, you cost more, but you also explained every single segment of the estimate to me, so that I felt real comfortable about it. And this makes contractors feel comfortable about their numbers, so that they can do a better presentation to their customers.
Exactly.
That's a huge thing. To me, that's a huge thing. So stop, don't do another job estimate till you check this out. For real, you guys. That's all I got for you in this one. God bless, and go get them, and check out
Moasure.com.
Woo! Live action.